Hi, everybody. This is Tamara Kelly from Moogly, and I am with you live August 14th, 2024. Since we are live, I'm going to take just a moment here to refresh the page in front of me so that I can see your comments and questions here as we are live so I can answer them as I go. And of course, if you're watching this later on a recording, still drop those in the comments and I will be able to come back and answer them later. So, if you're just joining us, hi again. My name is Tamara Kelly from Moogly, and I'm just here to chat with you about what's been going on. Like I say, it is August 14th, and I cannot believe we are already halfway through the month. That just blows my mind. I swear every week just goes a little bit faster. I turn around and it's like Thursday. It's only Wednesday. Don't let that freak you out. It's only Wednesday right now. But yeah, it's just been a crazy busy month, and I'm sure it has been for all of you too. And that's why we do these crochet and catch ups every once in a while. Now, the second half of my month is going to be similarly packed. We are getting our middle child off to college. He's going off to his first year, and it is about a 6 hour drive for us. And we've got orientation and then a week later move in. So we are going to be all over the place for the rest of August. So if it takes a little bit longer to get a response from me, don't worry. I'm still checking in, just, in between moving into the dorms and all those fun financial aid meetings. So wish us luck. Jeff and I are going to be knee deep in all of that for the next couple weeks. But anyway, there is plenty of crochet still happening, and that's what you're here for. So let's get to that. We have, of course, our latest crochet along square. This is block number 16 for the year already, 16 out of 24. And this is definitely fan favorite Pink Mambo, Carolyn Christmas. She does such gorgeous designs, and we're always excited to have her back. And oh, let's see, there we go. I thought there was something else on the screen. There we go. This is her square for this year. Absolutely gorgeous. This is the front of it. You can see it's a little lacy. I'm peeking out a little bit at you there from behind, but not overly lacy by any means. This is what the back looks like. So, to the practiced eye, you can tell front versus back, but still both are very, very appealing and very attractive. Definitely a center out square. You can see here, not a whole lot of surface texture on this one. So it's just a really nice sort of solid weight square with a really, really beautiful design. I, of course, used my three colors right now. In addition to the white and the gray, I'm using peacock. You'll see those on squares. I believe it would be 16, 17, and 18, and then I'll be switching on to yet another color. So this is our first peacock one, I believe, right here. I've got a couple more on the hook going. But once again, block number 16 for the Moogly Crochet Along by Pink Mambo. Wonderful designer. Always super excited to have her on board. Hopefully she'll be back, of course, for 2025. And in the meantime, definitely check out this one, as well as some of her other blocks that she's done for the past crochet alongs. I really enjoyed seeing this in the Moogly Crochet Along group. I saw one of the comments said, there's a hair on my mouth here. One of the comments said, I always recognize her patterns right away. I knew exactly who designed that one. So I thought that was a really great compliment. Again, lovely designs, love her stuff. Thank you so much again to Pink Mambo. Of course, I used Red Heart with Love for mine, but you can use whatever worsted weight yarn you like. We're recommending Red Heart with Love and Karen 1 pound. Both have great color ranges and, of course, are very washable and dryable and easy to care for, which is what you want in a blanket that your family is actually going to use, right? So that is our latest block. Now, my latest new free pattern on Moogly, of course, is the Blue Whale Zipper Pouch. So let me hold it up for you right here. You can see this is our guy. This is actually based on a teaching pattern that I had written for a class I did for Jimmy Bean's Wool. It was a class about how to do amigurumi, and it kind of went through all the basics of that. And you guys know I've got all my big squishes that I've done and I love, but those are big guys. And this was like I think it was a 3 hour class, so he didn't have that much time. So I'd come up with a small, I think I used Red Heart with Love, worsted weight whale with 3 pieces that we made with the base, the top, and the crown. Because we wanted to have something to sew on because, it was an amigurumi class. But the whale turned out really cute. And when these zippers, these new yarn zips came out from Yarn Inspirations, I thought, it's time to pull this pattern back out and do something else with it and share it with everybody, not just those who took the class. So if you wanted a little stuffed animal, you can work this up in Red Heart with Love, and it'll be about this big around, give or take, depending on how tight your stitches are, right? And then you can go ahead and stuff it and just sew the mouth up all together. But if you use Bernat Blanket and one of these yarn zips, you can turn it into this super cute pouch. Now, These yarn zips are phenomenal. I've used zippers in projects before, but these are genuinely going to be the only zippers I use in my crochet and knit projects from here on out, at least until they stop making them, because these are so much easier to install. Now, you can see here, I've unzipped it. So we've got our big pouch. You know, it's the inside, so I didn't bother finishing it super beautifully because it's the inside of a pouch. You can see where I've sewn in all my stuff. This is the key to these yarn zips, and I showed you these last times. This is the back of those safety eyes. I showed you this a little bit last time on the zippers. I hadn't used them yet, and now I've used one. In love, absolutely in love. This channel, you can see where I've sewn in with Bernat blanket. I was able to use Bernat blanket to sew in this zipper. Now, you could also crochet in this zipper, but bluntly, I think sewing it in is even easier, and I say that as someone who crochets and doesn't really sew. So you know I mean it, but it is genuinely so easy. If you can see how straight my stitches are, if I had tried to do this just eyeballing it, there is absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. You can see my other sewing. You know, it's messy, it's crazy, it's all over the place. This zipper has this channel, and it's kind of, I don't know if you can kind of tell where it's a little shinier there in between the stitches. There's that channel. These are not super loose, not too loose, but loosely enough woven threads right there. So it keeps you right there with your yarn needle, with your crochet hook, whatever you're using to attach it. It keeps it in this really beautifully straight line, and it is so easy to get through. I was able to use my standard yarn needle, the one that fits the Bernat blanket, to sew this on with. I genuinely cannot talk enough about how much easier these zippers are to use with your yarn projects. Now, if you were, sewing with fabric, this isn't the right zipper. This is a yarn zipper. This one you want to use for your yarn projects, whether they're crochet, whether they're knitting, whether they're craft, whether you crochet it on. Crochet aligned and then knit into. Knitters still have to use a hook. Or you want to just go ahead and sew it with your yarn needle. Like I said, I am absolutely in love with these. I've been talking to Sarah from Repeat Crafter Me, and she is too. We are so excited with all the possibilities of these yarn zips. So they come in 2 lengths and right now 2 colors. Fingers crossed they get more, right? But they're starting off with the standards. They've got black and white and 2 lengths in both colors, 9-inch and 22-inch. Now, the 9-inch one is the one I used here. And if I open it back up, actually, you'll be able to see better. This end, you can see, let's get that chance to focus there. You can see how they're attached here. There's a little silver metal bit, a stopper at the end of the zipper. So these 2 sides, the sides of the zipper, will not come apart on the 9-inch version. On the 22-inch version, they do come apart. So if you think about, a coat, a jacket, a cardigan, anything where you want to have those 2 sides come completely apart, you'll find that on the 22-inch length. So the great thing about zippers, if you're not somebody who's used them a lot before, is that you can start with the 22-inch zipper. Let's say you needed the zippers to separate, but you didn't need a full 22 inches, right? You only needed 4 inches or 8 inches or 12 inches or 21 inches, whatever it may be. You don't have to go out and find a zipper that's exactly the right length. You can take, I think I have one here. Let me see if I can find it. Of course, they've wandered off, but let's look at this one then. So you can take any excess above where the zipper goes. You don't want to go down here. You want to come at this end, the first end. You see how this end is separated? Oops. There we go. You can take off the extra from the top. You want to take a little bit of needle and thread and create a new stopper for it here. But you can take off the extra. Now, that's probably a whole separate tutorial, a little bit more to get into today, unless you're familiar with zippers. But you can take that 22-inch one and turn it into a shorter one. You don't have to use a full 22 inches of zipper, because that is a lot of zipper length, right? So you can definitely trim those down into shorter zippers if needed. But if you want the built-in stop, that's available on the 9-inch. Separating is on the 22-inch. So absolutely, just a lot of fun. Just a fun pattern, obviously the crown is optional, just a fun little touch. For the class, I wanted the class to have more, more practice sewing some things on. So that's where the crown came from. But I thought it was a pretty cute little whale, and it sits really nicely right there. For blocking it, I found a cake of yarn. If you want to do some blocking, a cake of yarn, again, stuffs in really well. And I love the idea. I haven't tried it out yet, but somebody had an idea, a very modern new version of the oh so traditional crocheted toilet paper cover. How fun would that be? So, I mean, I'm sure it would fit. It might stand up a little funny, but I think that would be a really fun way to hide your extra toilet paper too. Going back to our roots, but slightly different, right? So that is what is the full name? The Blue Whale Zipper Pouch is the name we gave this guy. I have had so many ideas for what to do with these zippers. Definitely have some more projects coming with those. So let me know. Yes, Christy, I agree. These yarn zips are awesome. Genuinely, I've thought about it before, right? I think of projects, you're like, oh, I'd love to make that, but it'd be great with a zipper. And oh gosh, I don't want to, I'm not great at sewing in zippers. They're such a pain. Or we make the project and that last step is sewing in the zipper and then you put it aside and it doesn't get finished for, a while. We've all done it. No more excuses. These things literally within 5 minutes, boom, sewing in the zipper, done. Easiest zipper application in my life. I cannot get over them. I genuinely, as soon as I finished sewing in this one, I went back to your inspirations and I was like, I need more. I need more. I need more of every size, more colors, everything. Send them to me. So definitely give those a try. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys like the whale and good morning. Yeah, definitely check out those yarn zips if you get a chance. I know right now they're available on yarnspirations.com. I have them linked in today's post on Moogly. When they get into the stores is up to the stores, right? Fingers crossed. Keep telling them. Keep telling your local Joann's and Michael's that you want to see them there, right? Hopefully they'll see the light and get them in there. So now something very else that's exciting. Before I get to that, I want to mention one other thing before I get to that. The Long Cat Door Draft Stopper. Yes, that's the full name. Long Cat Door Draft Stopper now has a video tutorial. So this guy has a video tutorial as well. So you can make him as well with your Bernat blanket. Remember, this is a cover for a door draft stopper you buy. And I did that very purposefully so that he is removable and washable. So that has a right and left-handed video tutorial up now. Okay, now the really exciting thing. As you may have spotted on Yarnspirations, there is a whole new kit available of yarn colors. Woo, I'm dropping them. That look an awful lot like this. And might just happen to have the Moogly logo nearby. I'm so excited I can't talk. This has been a long time coming. Da-da-da. The patterns are not up on Yarnspirations yet, but they will be up on Moogly very soon. I'm going to be working on that today to see how quickly I can get them up. If it's not this week, it will definitely be the first of next week. But I can finally show you what I made with those yarns. Drum roll, please. Let me grab my bag from back here. Like I say, this has been in the works for quite a while. So I'll start small. Now, if you read the description, you know already what is coming, but you haven't seen them yet. So we have a lime squish. We have a lemon squish. And we have the new pineapple squish right there. How cute are these guys? This is a 3-piece set. Got our little brown start here to our pineapple, our lemon, and our lime. How cute. This is a 3-piece set that you can make with those 3 colors of yarns. And these 3 patterns are going to be free. They're going to be going up on mooglyblog.com just as soon as I can manage to get them up there. And then they will be going up on Yarnspirations as one of their free downloadable PDFs. So that is very, very exciting. Again, the new pineapple, lime, and lemon. I really enjoyed making these. I used some little different stitches on this one. For the lime and lemon, I sort of used standard stitches. For this one, you'll see in the pattern, it's more of a textured stitch to give it sort of that pineapple look. So then we've got this really fun top for our pineapple here. It's just super soft, super cozy, super cuddly. Great for dorm rooms, kids' rooms, special friends. Anybody going on a cruise? I've been getting a lot of cruise videos lately on my FYPs. But, and I know they get displayed in a variety of ways. But very cute way to certainly get in that tropical theme. Like I say, they're just super squishy and cute. They're filled with your standard sort of fiber fill or stuffing, whatever you want to use. Don't have to buy anything special to fill these guys. And they're just super, super cute. And of course, super soft. And I really hope you'll give them a try and I hope you like them. So, very excited to finally share and give you a little sneak peek because the patterns aren't out yet, but they will be very, very soon for the pineapple and our little matching lime and lemon. There we are. Just cute little squishy guys. Obviously, faces optional, totally optional. For all three, I believe I used 18mm safety eyes. But other than that, it's just fiberfill and yarn. So yay, I'm so glad you guys like them. Thank you. They were so much fun to make and so hard to keep a secret. Every time I did something on camera, I had to make sure that little bag wasn't showing anywhere, so I didn't reveal them before I was allowed. So thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys like those. They're just a lot of fun. Christy, yep, I hear ya. When first you see zipper, you need to nope right out. Give these yarn zips a try. Oh, I should show you what the box looks like. You can tell I used one. But this is, before I forget, coming back to that real quick, this is what those yarn zip packages look like. Obviously, yours should have a zipper in it when you buy it. But that's what that package looks like, so you want to keep your eye out for these. It'll be over with the sewing stuff. I don't know. You know, I say that with full confidence, and then I don't know. I don't know if these will be over with the sewing stuff or with the yarn stuff. So if you're looking for them in store, be sure, if you're not finding them, be sure to ask. Again, it's up to the store where they set things up. So yay. Oh, and I'm so glad you guys like the pineapples. Thank you. Those were so much fun. Like I say, that's one of your sneak peeks for today. Those videos or patterns rather, will be out very, very soon. So in the meantime, while you're waiting for the patterns, you can go ahead and get the yarn. And this yarn, it's more yarn than you'll need in the kit. Just the way that goes sometimes, but it is a great deal on this yarn, and it's Bernat blanket. You'll find stuff to make with the extra, right? I've got some great patterns on Moogly for you to use too. So it is a really, really good discount that they've put on this yarn as well. So I don't have anything to do with that, but it is a great deal. So I definitely think you should check it out. Okay, so what else has been happening on Moogly? Best Crochet Life Designer Showcase. Thank you so much. Absolutely love it. She has so many beautiful, colorful designs. If you guys like color, if you like crochet squares, like for the crochet along, definitely check her stuff out. And then, of course, we've got a couple of giveaways going right now. There is the Moogly Mystery Yarny Goodness giveaway. It's going to be a box that I'm filling with yarn and other goodies. I've actually started working on it. I know I said it was going to be worth over $50. It is going to be worth well over $50. I am squeezing some really great stuff into that box. I'm going through all my goodies and clearing things out. And anything I've got an extra of, I'm throwing in there for you guys. So it is going to be full of some really, really fun stuff. Some yarns you may have never seen before. Definitely some new accessories. So definitely be sure to enter that if you haven't already. And then there is the Bernat Latchet Kit giveaway. And I finally got some latchet kits in the mail. So let's go ahead, rearrange some of these things so I can pull those up here. All right. Now, oops. This is the one I think, yes, this is the one I showed you guys last time. My box is falling apart just a little bit. There we go. This one right here. This is really fun. You can see it's a prototype, so that's why my box is a little janky. But I got this one before they were actually being fully manufactured. But a really, really fun design. And I just want to show you some of the other designs. I, of course, haven't worked all these up, but I'm excited to go ahead and get started one as soon as I have a little bit more free time. Now, one thing I want to point out, this prototype box, I don't know if you can kind of tell on camera, but it's really thin cardboard. And I will say the new ones are coming in a nice thicker cardboard. This one does not have a prototype sticker on it. So you can see right here, this one, I don't know if you can tell by looking at it, maybe by sound. This is a thick, more of like a corrugated cardboard. So the new boxes are going to stand up a whole lot better. You can see here is another one of those designs right there. And remember, all of these can be set up as either wall hangings or as pillows. There we are, as pillows. And they include the mesh that you work the yarn into, instructions, which is really just a plot for where each of the yarns go. Latch hooking is incredibly simple if you haven't done it before. The latch hook itself, so all the tools you need. You've got this binding, which if you do choose to apply the binding, I think you would have to get a needle and thread for, but the fact that the binding is included is genuinely phenomenal. And then, of course, all the yarn already pre-cut to all the lengths you need. So it is really, they are genuinely setting you up for ultimate success with these. And like I say, if you haven't tried latch hooking before, it's gone by a few different names. Rug hooking, I think. I remember it being called that when I was a child. But of course, it doesn't have to just be for rugs. It can also be for pillows and all kinds of other things. It is genuinely so incredibly easy. I've been talking to Yarn Inspirations. I want them to, I want to try and get on a channel and maybe just do like a big latch hooking session just on a live or something. I think that would be really sort of a vision of slow TV, right? But I think it would be a lot of fun. And like I say, the great thing about latch hooking is seriously, watch probably 45 seconds of a tutorial and you've got it. And you've got it. So it's very easy. I have done a different kit of latch hook, but like I say, the technique is the same. I did do a different type of kit, but also a latch hook kit, and I have that video tutorial linked in the giveaway so you can see for yourself. It's really, really simple. Once you get the idea of sort of how the grid lays out, and you know how to pull that yarn on, you've got it, you're off and running. You could probably start designing your own stuff on some of those pixel sites, right? Because that's essentially what it is. It's a big grid. So, you know, all those websites where people come up with their own corner to corner patterns and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if people start coming up with some latch hook kits as well. So lots of fun. Oh, that's fine. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are joining us. Thanks for those who are just coming in. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. So definitely enter the Bernat Latchet Kit giveaway on Moogly, as well as the Moogly Mystery Yarny Goodness giveaway. That's going to be some really fun stuff. Maybe next time I'll give you a little sneak peek inside the box. Still filling it up right now. So all that said, now I've got a few more exciting things that I get to show you guys this week. Now, if you follow Yarn Inspirations on TikTok, and if you don't and you're on TikTok, you should, as well as Moogly Blog, of course. If you follow Yarn Inspirations on TikTok, you may have seen I've done a couple of lives for them. And these are actually the first TikTok lives I've ever done. So it's been a real learning experience for me as well. But it was a lot of fun. And on this last one, I got to show off 3 brand new yarns. I believe they are all available just now, like literally within the last week or so, on yarnspirations.com. So I don't know when they're going to get into the stores off the top of my head, but they are available on yarnspirations.com right now. So I wanted to show these to you because they're brand new yarns. Now, first one here I'll bring up is Bernat Fluffy. Give that a chance to focus. There it is. You can see it's spelled a little different. So Fluffee. So if you're trying to Google it or look for it on the site, you'll need to look for that instead. But you can see it has a really different texture. It's spun, but not, I mean, it's barely spun. It's definitely, let me get there, what I would call single ply. It definitely has more of a roving style to it, but it's strong. It's going to give you that sort of roving, fuzzy, unfinished, if you want to call it, yarn look, but it's a strong one. Now, if you've worked with roving yarn before, you may have taken a few stitches and all of a sudden the yarn fell apart. It's happened to me. Absolutely, it has happened to me. This stuff is so much stronger. This stuff, let me pull out a strand of it here. You can see I took a few stitches of it before. This stuff isn't busting. You can hear, I can hear, hopefully you can hear, that snap, that's got nylon in it. This yarn is, let me pull up the label here, 90% polyester and 10% nylon. Now, nylon is the fiber that they put in sock yarn in particular to make it strong. Because if you think about it, most of the things we make, if we walked around on it all day, we'd wear a hole in it and destroy it right away. It's got to have something special to make it last, and that's nylon. So they have added nylon to this yarn. This isn't busting open like most roving yarns or roving look yarns that you'll try. This one has real strength to it. So I'm very impressed that you're able to get that really fluffy, gorgeous look without having it be delicate or breakable or having to take extra care. So speaking of care, this one is care instructions on the inside, but going by the little symbols, it is machine washable and dryable, but of course, do not iron. Don't iron your polyester and nylon yarns. This one is a 5, a bulky weight yarn. And the recommended hook size or needle size is an 8mm. I only, right now for myself, have the blue and the black, which isn't very good for holding up to demo with, so that's why I haven't held up that one. But we'll take one more look and you can see it is fuzzy, definitely, and very, very fluffy. It's got great squish to it. It's definitely very soft to the touch. It doesn't have any wool in it, so it's also going to give you that wool look without any wool. So if you're somebody who has a wool allergy, this is the stuff. This is going to give you that look without any of those allergy worries. The next yarn, we were talking a lot about Bernat Blanket. This is yet another version of Bernat Blanket. It's not a different size, it's a different color pattern. So this one is Bernat Blanket Mystic. I don't know how to say it. Is it Mystical or Mystical? Mystical. Not sure how they want us to say it, but you can see how they've spelled it there. Mystical. Bernat Blanket Mystical. So this is a 6-weight Bernat blanket. Let me turn that around the right way here so you can see the label. There, a 6-weight. So this is kind of your standard Bernat blanket, not an extra thick, not a big, not an extra, just a 6. The other ones, a lot of them tend to be 7s. This one, however, what sets this one apart is this color, this sort of tone-on-tone variation here. This is what sets this one apart. It also gives it what I think of as a velvet look. When I first saw, when I was poking around the Yarn Inspirations site, looking at some of the new patterns, a blanket popped up in this, and I at first thought they'd actually brought back Bernat Velvet because I was convinced that that blanket was made in the velvet yarn. And as soon as I clicked on it, nope, it's this stuff. So if you are somebody who enjoyed Bernat Velvet, but perhaps didn't enjoy the worming or the way that that yarn had a tendency to pull up loops a little bit, especially with bigger and looser stitches and stitch patterns, then this might be the yarn for you. And of course, Bernat Blanket in general is so pretty and so fun to use. And this one somehow feels even softer. It even somehow, I don't know if it's just, if it's sort of a placebo effect, but it almost has a little bit more of that velvet feel as well. And of course, it's just as easy care as the rest of your Bernat blanket. Throw it in the wash, throw it in the dryer. Love, love, love it. Use it for so many of my projects lately. So then the third one I get to show you guys, and thank you so much, is one that I kind of tore up on video. So I'm going to do my best to show you what it should have looked like before I kind of really got into it on that live. This is Bernat Blanket, extra thick, perfect phasing. Lots going on there. So let's hold up that label, and you can see how big this skein is. You can see this is where I was tearing it up, and I was taking a few stitches in it so we could see what those looked like. But if I move that out of the way, you can see how dark the color I'm holding is, and maybe if we flip it over to the bottom, a little easier to see from the bottom here. This is that perfect phasing that I was talking about in that live. It's darkest on the inside, lightest on the outside, and it is completely gradual. There's no place, if I kept pulling this, where we'd suddenly say, oh, that was it. That's the spot where it changed from dark to light blue or whatever. It's completely gradual, really gorgeous. There's a reason they call it perfect phasing, right? So the other thing, now this is the one I really tore up, was the pink one, because we were trying to get to one of the color changes. You can see how incredibly thick this yarn is. But I want to point out, again, it's the darkest on the inside and the lightest on the outside. That means if you have a multi-skein project, you don't have to worry about, oh gosh, I'm going to have to pull out one end until I find the color that matches, the same spot in the colorway to continue and not have it, have a jog. You know exactly where you are. You're going to, if you start in the middle, you're starting with the darkest and ending up on the lightest. If you start on the outside, you can go the opposite direction, but you don't have to pull out a bunch of yarn and throw it away to get to the right spot. You don't have to worry about, matching your colors like that. It's always going to be that perfect phasing. So I was talking a little bit about how the Mystical is a 6. This one, you can tell by this thickness, definitely isn't. This is a 7-weight yarn. So this is a jumbo. You can see how much thicker it is than the other Bernat blankets. And Bernat Blanket Extra Thick is currently, at least, their thickest version. Right there. So this is great if you want to do crochet, knit, hand crochet, or hand knit. This is the thickness I recommend if you want to try hand crocheting or hand knitting. You don't really want to do it with much smaller. This is just going to make it so much easier. And the great thing about using these chenille yarns to do it is they've got a little bit of grip. So it will help keep those loops from pulling back out as easily, since you with the hand knitting, at least, you've got multiple active loops going all at once. So, like I say, I kind of did a job on this one, but we were having a lot of fun playing with it on that live. So definitely, if you are on TikTok, be sure you're following Yarn Inspirations and Moogly blog on TikTok. I know I would love to have the help. It's been an interesting and challenging platform to try and grow on. So if you're already there, I would love to follow. But thank you. Yeah, they are wow, they are amazing. They are some big, big yarns. So definitely check that out. And you can see, oh, I forgot to mention how big the skein is, because, well, we saw how big, but it is, for a jumbo yarn, a very, very large skein. It is a full 65 yards or 600 grams. Most of your big skeins of yarn are around 300 grams, and that's for a big one, so this is 600. So because it is so thick, it is only 65 yards, but with a big yarn like this, that's still going to go a pretty good way. Here's a good example. Let me hold this up. There is a pillow there on the label. That is the pattern provided on the label. You can see it's a really big pillow, kind of an oversized pillow. And it looks like for this pattern, they recommend using 2 balls. So 2 balls are all you need to make a great big pillow like that. And of course, you can have a lot of fun. And it looks like you've probably even got a little bit of extra, to be honest. So while it may not seem like a lot of yardage, each one of those stitches ends up being about this big. So you can get a pretty good distance with it. Hi, Dawn. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, so those are the Sneaky Peeky yarns. And of course, I showed you the brand new yarn zips. So I saw somebody say they hadn't seen them before. That's okay. It's because they're new. So definitely do check those out. Here's an empty package because I've been having a lot of fun with these myself. Looking around, making sure I didn't miss anything. I just did finish the Babé crochet hat templates. That giveaway ended overnight, so I have contacted those 2 winners. So look for an email from me, or you can go to that giveaway and look at the little box, and the first name of the winners are shown. So you can always check that way as well. And I'm just gonna see. I don't think I saw any other questions, but I think that's it. I think that's about it for today. I feel like I've been talking forever, but I guess it's only been about half an hour. Now, all the links for everything I have been talking about today are in today's post, except I still need to go back and add this one because it was a last-minute addition into that live as well. Now, I will be going live again on, I'm going to pull up my calendar really right in front of you guys live here. Pull up my Google Calendar so I can make sure I get this right. Right now, my plan to go live with you guys next is on August 29th, which is actually a Thursday. Because we're going to be moving my kid to college that week for the first half, and I have no idea still, 2 weeks out, exactly what that schedule is going to look like. So, like I said, wish us well. This is a whole new adventure for us, and it's very different and strange, not only being on the parent side, but, we'll say a couple decades later. So, off to a new adventure, but lots of crochet happening in the meantime. I've got a whole new project working on. I've been doing a couple sneak peeks here and there on Instagram and TikTok for. We're going to be exploring some short rows in my next project and another project you can make with those yarn zips. So do pick those up if you get a chance. And if you're placing an order on Yarn Inspirations, seriously, throw one of those yarn zips on there and maybe 1 or 2 of these new yarns. Give yourself a little treat, something special to try, something exciting. I think there's some new stuff you're really going to love. So in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your month. Good luck if you too are in the throes of college, college, and just the back to school. I know there's plenty of fun and excitement there as well. So good luck, everybody, and I'll see you again in a couple weeks. And in the meantime, stay tuned. Lots of good stuff to come. Bye-bye, everybody.